My name is Michael. I'm 16 years old. If you asked anyone at school who I was, they'd probably shrug and say, he's normal.
Not popular, not invisible, just there. I laughed at the right jokes, wore decent clothes, posted decent photos. On the outside, I looked fine. Online, I looked even better. Instagram was where I fixed myself, where I could crop out what I didn't like, where I could add confidence with a filter and worth with a number in the corner of the screen. Likes felt like proof that I mattered. Comments felt like approval from a world that never stopped watching. But when the screen went dark, so did I. Every night followed the same pattern. Homework half done. Headphones in. Phone glowing. I'd scroll until my thumb went numb. Perfect bodies, perfect smiles, perfect lives. People my age, traveling, partying, winning, shining. Everyone looked ahead of me. Better than me. Happier than me. I told myself it didn't bother me. That was a lie. The truth was, every scroll chipped something away. Every comparison whispered that I was behind, broken, forgettable. I started measuring my worth in seconds, how fast people liked my post, how long they watched my story, how many followed and unfollowed. When a photo didn't do well, my chest tightened. When someone else blew up, my stomach dropped. I'd refresh, delete, repost, adjust, anything to feel seen. My parents thought I was just tired. Teachers thought I was distracted. Friends thought I was quiet. Nobody knew how loud my head was. On the night everything ended, I was alone in my room. It was late. The house was quiet. My phone was the only light, casting shadows on the walls. I had just deleted a picture I'd posted earlier. It hadn't gotten enough likes. I stared at the ceiling, feeling hollow, like someone had scooped something important out of me. That's when my chest started to hurt. At first, I ignored it. Anxiety did that sometimes. Tightness, pressure, fast heartbeat. I told myself to breathe. I reached for my phone again, instinctively, like it could save me. But the pain grew sharper. My heart started racing, then stuttering, like it was misfiring. My hands went cold. I tried to sit up, but my arms felt weak, like they didn't belong to me anymore. The room began to spin. I remember thinking, this is stupid. I'm 16. I can't die like this. I tried to call out, but my throat locked up. My phone slipped from my hand and hit the floor, the screen still glowing. The Instagram logo stared back at me. Then my lungs stopped working. No air went in. No air came out. It felt like drowning without water. Panic exploded in my chest, but my body wouldn't respond. I couldn't scream. I couldn't move. And then something terrifying happened. The fear vanished. Not because I was okay, but because I was leaving. The darkness didn't rush in from the room. It rose from inside me, closing in from the edges of my vision, like a curtain being drawn. The last thing I felt was a strange, heavy calm. And then, nothing. I wasn't in my body anymore. I didn't know where I was. But somehow, deep inside, I understood the truth. I had died. The first thing I noticed was the silence. Not the awkward kind, not the empty kind. This silence was alive. It felt thick, warm, intentional, like it was holding me instead of swallowing me. There was no buzzing in my head, no background noise, no notifications waiting to be checked. For the first time in years, my thoughts stopped racing. I realized I was standing, or at least I thought I was. I didn't feel my feet touching anything, yet I wasn't falling. My body felt lighter than air, like gravity had forgotten about me. I looked down at my hands. They were there, but brighter, almost glowing softly, as if light lived beneath my skin. Then I remembered my room. My chest tightened out of habit, not pain. Did I survive? Am I dreaming? I turned around. The room was gone. Instead, I was surrounded by a vast open space that didn't have walls or a ceiling, but it didn't feel endless either. It felt complete, like I was exactly where I was supposed to be. The light wasn't coming from a source. It was everywhere, gentle and powerful at the same time. And then I felt it. A presence. Before I saw anything, I felt him. Not fear, not judgment. Recognition. Like being known completely and still being wanted. Every secret, every thought, every insecurity, I knew instantly that none of it was hidden here. I dropped to my knees without meaning to. Tears came fast. Not sad tears. Relieved ones. The kind you cry when you've been holding your breath for too long and finally let it out. He stood before me. People always say a bright light, but that doesn't even come close. He wasn't blinding, he was clear. Realer than anything I'd ever seen. The light around him moved, like it was alive, like it breathed. His presence had weight to it, the way truth does, when you finally stop running from it. I didn't need to ask who he was. I knew. Jesus didn't speak with words at first. His voice didn't hit my ears, it went straight into my chest, deep and steady, like a heartbeat I'd forgotten I had. "Michael," he said. Not accusing, not surprised. Gentle, certain. I broke. Every wall I'd built collapsed at once. I cried harder than I ever had in my life. I cried for the nights I felt invisible, for the photos I deleted, for the comparisons, for the times I hated myself and didn't even know why. "I'm so tired," I said. Or maybe I thought it. Here, it was the same thing. Jesus knelt in front of me, so we were eye to eye. "I know," he said. That's when he touched my shoulder. The world shifted. Suddenly, we were no longer in the light-filled space. We were looking down far below at something familiar. Earth. But it wasn't the Earth from space documentaries. It was darker. Dimmer. Covered in a faint gray haze that pulsed and moved like fog with intention. Threads of it stretched across cities, neighborhoods, houses. Jesus gestured and my vision zoomed in. Bedrooms. Thousands of them. Teenagers. Kids. All alone. Each one lit by the glow of a screen. I saw boys lying on their beds scrolling endlessly, faces blank, girls staring into their front cameras, adjusting angles, deleting photos, forcing smiles that vanished the second the screen turned off. I saw comments floating above them, not words but weights. Every like added pressure, every comparison carved something away. From the screens poured a dark mist. Not smoke, something heavier. It wrapped around their heads, pressed against their chests, whispered constantly. I could hear it now. "You're not enough. You're falling behind. Everyone else is winning. Why even try?" I felt sick. "That's Instagram," I said. Jesus nodded, his expression heavy with grief. "It is not the app," he told me. "It is what the silence was replaced with." He showed me myself, my room, my bed, my phone inches from my face at 2 a.m, my heart racing while my body stayed still. I watched as every scroll dulled something inside me. Not all at once, slowly, carefully, like erosion. "This is how the enemy numbs a generation," Jesus said. "Not with pain, but with distraction." Then he showed me something else. A different room. A boy my age sitting on the floor, phone face down, hands shaking as he whispered, "God, if you're real, help me." Light exploded from that room. It tore straight through the gray fog like lightning through clouds. The darkness recoiled. Jesus looked at me. "They are not weak," he said. "They are overwhelmed." I wanted to scream, to warn them, to grab every phone and throw it away. Instead, I whispered, "What about me?" He met my eyes, and I understood. This wasn't just something I was being shown, it was something I was being sent back to tell. Jesus didn't answer right away. He stood beside me, and the world below kept moving, scrolling, flickering, refreshing, endlessly. I felt something tightening in my chest again, but this time it wasn't panic, it was understanding. Heavy, painful understanding. He placed his hand over my heart, and suddenly I could feel what they felt, not just see it. I felt the anxiety spike when a post didn't get likes fast enough. The tiny rush when it did, and how quickly that rush died. I felt a hollow drop afterward, the quiet shame of needing strangers to confirm your worth. I felt the exhaustion of pretending everything was fine while your mind never shuts up. "This is what they don't talk about," I said, my voice shaking. "This is why we're all tired." Jesus nodded. You were never designed to be seen by thousands, he said. You were designed to be known. The scene shifted again. This time I saw inside the app itself, but not the way programmers see it. I saw it the way the spiritual world sees it. Every swipe pulled a thin thread from the user's chest. Not enough to hurt, not enough to notice, but enough to weaken. Over time, those threads formed a net, one person at a time, 1 hour at a time. I saw algorithms like invisible hands, pushing certain images forward, burying others. I saw beauty standards sharpen into weapons. I saw sadness packaged as relatable content, despair turned into humor, loneliness masked with filters and music. Why? I asked. Why does it work like this? Jesus looked at me, not angry, but firm. Because pain keeps people scrolling, he said, and scrolling keeps them quiet. That's when he showed me the hospitals. Psych wards filled with teenagers who couldn't explain what hurt. Emergency rooms with kids my age who said they were just tired but meant done. Bedrooms where parents slept peacefully, unaware their child was crying, silently inches away, phone glowing in the dark. I saw captions that looked harmless on the surface, but spiritually they were knives. I saw trends that normalized self-hatred, jokes that trained kids to laugh at their own pain before anyone else could. And then I saw the worst part. The comments that never got posted. The messages typed out and deleted. I don't want to be here anymore. I hate myself. Does anyone actually care? Those words didn't disappear. They sank straight into the heart. Jesus turned to me. Mental illness is real, he said. But so is the war around it. I thought of my own nights, lying awake, refreshing, hoping for something, anything to make the noise stop. I hadn't wanted attention, I'd wanted relief. I didn't even know I was drowning, I whispered. Most of them don't, he replied. They think this is normal. Then he showed me something different. A group of teenagers sitting together on a curb, phones in their pockets, laughing so hard one of them fell over. No music. No cameras, just presence. I saw another kid deleting Instagram completely and feeling panic for a week, then peace, real peace, quiet mornings, clear thoughts. I saw kids praying not perfectly, not religiously, just honestly, saying things like, God, I don't know how to be okay, and if you're there, please don't leave me. Every time someone chose silence over scrolling, light pushed back the fog. Not all at once, but enough. Jesus looked at me again. Michael, he said, this generation is not broken, it is under attack. My throat tightened. So why show me? I asked. I'm not strong, I'm not a leader, I'm just a kid who almost died. That's when his voice changed, not louder, deeper. Exactly, he said. They will listen to you. I felt it then, the pull, the weight returning, the gravity of the world calling me back. I panicked. No, I said quickly. Please, I can't go back to that noise. I can't unsee this. Let me stay. Jesus smiled, not sadly, but knowingly. You don't go back alone, he said, and then he showed me my parents. My mom sitting at the kitchen table, phone in her hand, scrolling through my profile, tears dropping onto the screen. My dad standing in the doorway, helpless, silent. The guilt hit me like a wave. They need you, Jesus said softly. And your friends do too. I felt the light begin to fade, the silence thinning, the noise creeping back in. I reached for him. Promise me something, I said. He leaned close. I never leave, he said. But you must tell them. The world tilted, the light shattered into sound, and I fell. The silence broke first, then the pain. It hit me all at once, sharp, burning, unbearable. My lungs felt like they were filled with sand. I tried to inhale, but my chest refused to move. The peace was gone, the warmth was gone. Everything was loud again, beeping, shouting, hands pressing down on my chest. Stay with us, Michael. My eyes flew open, and the light stabbed straight through my skull. Cold hospital light, white walls, masks, tubes. Someone was calling my name over and over like they were afraid it would disappear if they stopped. He's back, we've got him. I started coughing, choking, tears pouring down my face without me even knowing why. I wasn't crying from pain. I was crying because I remembered. Because I knew what I'd just left. My mom's face appeared above me, broken and exhausted, like she hadn't slept in days. When she realized I was awake, she collapsed against the bed, gripping my hand like I might vanish again. "You scared us," she whispered. I wanted to tell her everything, about the light, about Jesus, about the fog and the threads, and the kids drowning in silence. But my throat wouldn't work. All I could do was squeeze her hand and cry. They told me later I'd been gone for almost 9 minutes. 9 minutes without a heartbeat. 9 minutes where my brain should have shut down. 9 minutes that changed everything. Recovery was slow, painful, boring. I had too much time to think. No phone. No scrolling. No noisy. Just me and my thoughts, and for the first time, that didn't scare me. When they finally let me have my phone back, I turned it on and felt it immediately. The pull, the rush, the anxiety creeping in before I'd even opened an app. So I turned it off. Not forever, just long enough to breathe. That's when I realized something terrifying. I hadn't been addicted to Instagram because I loved it. I'd been addicted because I didn't know how to sit with myself. At school, everyone asked what it was like to almost die. Some joked about it, some avoided me, some treated me like I was fragile glass. But when I looked at them, I didn't see normal teenagers anymore. I saw fog. I saw threads. I saw exhaustion behind perfect selfies. I watched my friends scroll during lunch, laugh at videos they forgot 5 seconds later, complain about feeling empty without knowing why. And every time my chest tightened not with panic, but with urgency. So here's the warning Jesus told me to bring back. If you're a teenager reading this, and you feel anxious for no reason, if you feel lonely even when you're surrounded by people, if you feel like your worth rises and falls with likes, views, and comments, you're not broken, you're overstimulated. Your mind was never meant to carry thousands of opinions. Your heart was never meant to compete with edited perfection. Your soul was never meant to be online 24/7. Instagram doesn't hate you, but it doesn't love you either, and it will never tell you to stop. That part is on you. Silence isn't empty. Silence is where healing starts. Silence is where God speaks, and He's still speaking. Not through notifications, not through trends, not through comparison. Through that quiet voice you keep drowning out. The one that says, "You matter even when no one's watching." My name is Michael. I'm 16 years old. I died for a few minutes. And I came back with one message. Turn the noise down before it costs you more than you realize. You are not invisible. You are not alone. And you are worth more than a screen will ever tell you.